Yes.
Sorry about that. Not sure what's up with that, but I think I'm all good now. So, Kathy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had lost you or like you had frozen, but I didn't hear anything else. But it looks like we're okay now. I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay.
Yeah, sure can. Yep.
Okay. All right. I think before you froze, you were saying like, the general what went, how the week was, that kind of thing. So
Yep.
I'll just jump in and say today is day 75. Well, 1 year and 75 days of the 10,000 steps a day goal. So I was
Wow.
kind of happy when I saw the 75, like, okay, that's cool.
Woohoo!
So
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. So obviously the 10,000 steps a day is what's going well for me. I'm managing to maintain that focus, and it truly is a driving focus. I mean, there are times that it's just like, oh my gosh, I only have 5,000 steps. Okay, I got to figure something out. So
Give us
but
I've been meaning to ask, sorry to interrupt. I've been meaning to ask, can you give us like a couple of specific examples that might be meaningful or relatable, particularly to new people or people that are considering the HealthPointe program? And there's this part of the program that talks about steps. It's a very doable thing. You don't have to have special gym equipment or anything, just get your steps in. And everybody, by and large, does pretty well with it. But sometimes, we just have those days where it's disrupted and it's difficult to get them in. Since you've gone for a year and 75 days in a row, you undoubtedly have had many occasions where it wasn't easy. It wasn't like you just had an easy time doing it. So can you give a couple of examples that
sure, like when I
new
spent
people
when I
might be able
spent the night in the ER with my mom from like at
Okay.
11 o'clock at night, and at the 11 o'clock at night point I had like I think like my 8,000. So I just kept going around in her little room and made sure I hammered those out, and that was fine. And then was able to fall asleep a little bit in the uncomfortable chair at like midnight and woke up at 1:30 and couldn't get comfortable. And they were going to be moving into a room, but we didn't know when. And I'm like, okay, I'm awake. It's 1:30 in the morning. I got to get some steps in because eventually I'm going to get to sleep later today. So I started walking around her little room, and then probably had gotten around, I don't know, 1,500 in or so. And then they luckily moved her to a room and went upstairs to the room. So that took up like about 500 steps, which was nice. And then I got her situated, but then I went home. So I had to walk the parking lot. So that worked out. I think when I got home and went to bed at like 4:30, I think I had like 3,500. So I was like, okay, that's not awful. And then I set my alarm and got up, wanted to get back up to the hospital at like 8:30 to know what was going on with her. And of course, got there at 8:30, doctors weren't there. She was in a room, and luckily she was kind of toward the end of the hallway. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get some steps in because who knows what the rest of the day is going to hold. So I did. I just started walking up and down the hallway of the hospital, and the nurse was like, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm like, good morning. Don't mind me. I'm on a health program. I do 10,000 steps a day, and I got to get these done because I don't know what the day is going to hold. And I'm like, oh, wow, But yeah, and then I think I was at the hospital for, I think, till like noon, and then we knew what was going on, and I was like, okay, I'm going home and going back to bed for a couple hours, and then got up, and I think I ended up with like about 5,000 when I got back up, and then I just
what's
hammered around the house.
Kind of in a similar vein, when you string together so many days like that, what is a typical day like? For example, we often say, I would say most people, in my experience, if they don't have any plan, if they just go about their day, they may get up to 4,000 or 5,000. That's just, roll out of bed, no plan. They look at their Fitbit at the end of the day, they've got 4,000 or 5,000. So if you want to get 10,000 or 15,000, it takes more than that. And We talk about doing, 5,000 before breakfast. What is how you've done it over a year? What's your typical mode of operating?
Okay. Well, typical mode of operating, I can't do the 5,000 before breakfast. I just can't do it. I'm not that much of a morning person. I get up early for work. So, my plan is because I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, just so people are aware of that. So, I get up, I eat my breakfast, I get ready for work, get my breakfast, I get in the car and I get to work. So usually by the time I'm at my desk, I might have like maybe 1,200 steps in. So then I'm at my desk and I'm not too far from our printer, but I do get up and print stuff. So, luckily I now have the Apple Watch. So it kicks my wrist, as Skip Ross always said. So may you rest in peace, Skip. I get the kick 10 minutes to the hour to get up if I haven't moved. So then usually I just do like a quick little walk around my department. But usually most of mine, after I eat my lunch, I usually can hammer out. Depends on what I've got going on, between 2,500 to 3,000 steps in about 35 or 40 minutes.
This is after lunch.
At work after lunch. And it's usually just walking in our lobby of our third floor area because it's not warm. Finally, it's started to be warm enough in Michigan to walk outside. But during the whole winter time, I just did that. So usually by the time I come back from lunch.
Just a quick interruption on that, Kathy, just a comment on it. For anybody that is trying to curb, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and just general health, walking after eating, I remember when I learned this officially, I was like, yeah, gosh, I've always remembered that kind of being recommended even as a kid. You get up and walk a little bit after eating. Well, it turns out, because obviously you're firing your muscles, it's like a glucose sink. It really sucks the glucose out of your bloodstream. So along with getting your steps in, by doing it after you eat like that, Kathy, is really, really good for moderating blood sugar. So I just wanted to comment on that.
Oh, that's cool. That's a benefit I didn't even realize, but really my thing was a time thing. And that was a good time to get steps in. So wherever the good time is to get steps in, that's when they happen, So usually by the time when lunch is over, I'm usually back at my desk and I have around 5,000. So then the typical afternoon is just, walk around, whatever. So most of the time when I head home, if it's been a fairly active day at work, I usually walk out the door with about 7,000. But you still have 3,000 to do before the night's over, So again, as I've said before, if I need to fold clothes, I will fold clothes while I'm walking. You can fold a towel while you're walking. It's not that hard. You can uninside out, underwear and socks and shirts and whatever, getting the household things done, even just simple stuff as like walking around and getting stuff to get ready for packing my lunch, that kind of stuff. And then I try to do that like before dinner, eat dinner, and then usually again after dinner. And really it's been a timing thing, not realizing that it's really that beneficial, but usually after dinner is then when I hammer out the rest. And as I've stated before, I don't like to walk by myself outside in the neighborhood. I just don't. So I just walk around the house like I'm doing right now. And I just
people underestimate how many steps you get right inside the house. And for the benefit of people in general, new people that might not know you, what's been your total weight loss, and then maybe a total weight loss between you and your husband?
Okay, so in 2018, I went on the HealthPointe program in June of 2018. By January of 2019, I had dropped 58 pounds, and I kept it off. I've kept it off the entire time. During COVID, I think I picked up about 10 pounds, but I dropped that back off since 21. And
nice.
I've kept that consistent. My husband, 2018, 2019, same thing as me. He actually had a lot more to lose, and he had lost 85. And
wow,
he had kept it off well until COVID hit. And COVID kind of hit him a little harder than it did me. I was just like, this ain't happening to me, Different people deal with things differently. So he is back on the program right now, but he managed to keep probably at least 60 off, the whole time. So he's got about maybe 25 or 30 to go to get back to what we're calling his pre-COVID weight. He was not, he definitely was never back to where he was. And it really was just, he wasn't active. It really, we were still eating for the most part healthily. But he wasn't active.
COVID's it's the understatement of the century to say COVID had an impact on everybody in various ways, positive, negative, etc. But so you guys, I guess, combined, you're over 100 pounds.
58, well like 100, 140, probably something like that combined. Yeah.
That is so
a whole
awesome.
person, a whole person, really, I guess, when you think about it, So
very, very cool. Very,
and my
cool.
thing,
Kathy.
Yes, David.
If I remember correctly, when we first started HealthPointe together, I didn't realize until later that you shared with me that you had just had a doctor's appointment.
Yeah. I had a doctor's. Well, actually, the year before I had the doctor's appointment. It took me a year before I decided that I wanted to do something. And
what happened at the doctor's appointment?
I was told I was pre-diabetic, and that I should go talk to a dietitian. And I laughed and I said, yeah, I don't need a dietitian. I know exactly what I need to do. I just need to do it, because my husband had been to a dietitian before and had gone that route trying to lose weight. So I had all the notes and I had all the counts and all the stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I still just kind of blew it off. And then, as being more involved in this community and seeing the HealthPointe success stories, and of course, David's wife, Chris, my amazing coach, who has lost over 110 pounds and has kept it off for over 10 years. She is the goddess of all of us.
Nice.
I was like, I went to David and I said, all right, what is this? Maybe I can do this, and decided. But again, it was it's a whole mind thing, as everything is, I mean, I knew for like probably 9 months that I was pre-diabetic, but I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, but then just kind of thinking about, because my mom's diabetic and my grandpa was diabetic. So, and I'm not, I can definitely say that I'm not. My mom still is, she won't have the mind shift. She sees what I do, but she won't do it. And she's doing much better.
You're hitting on something that is so key, and maybe Carol, of course, you can speak to this, and David, I know you, all of us probably can, but you're talking about mindset. Okay, kind of. I don't know. That's sometimes a hard thing to wrap your hands around. When you say mindset. Maybe Carol, if you can unmute and chat about whatever you would like to chat about. Always super awesome to be hearing anything from you, Carol, down in sunny Florida.
And, am I unmuted?
You are. You're unmuted.
Okay.
We can hear you, so it's all yours.
Oh, thank you. It was a little bit difficult to see on the screen here. Yes, the sun is shining brightly, and I'm out in close to 6-digit figure heat. That's wonderful. Sweating out all those toxins. I love it. But listening to Kathy and David and the experience with Chris and many others, many others, all the ones that you successfully put on, Eric, I think the word that Kathy hit on was mindset. And probably some people might not be familiar with that term. We are in our business because a lot of what we do is mindset. What is the decision? And Kathy knew a year before. She just didn't do anything about it. And I'm just going to tell you that that's the first step. Once you make that decision, you've kind of crossed that line, and then your coach will be integral with you in leading you through that program. But it has to have that morning, has to have that decision first. And I love what Kathy said. It wasn't about, okay, she has a situation. She lives in Michigan. Many times it's very dark, not real safe in her estimation to get her steps in outside. So she does them at noon. you know what? The HealthPointe program is a guideline that you can work with your coach. And if you find it difficult to get your steps in first thing in the morning, get your steps in sometime. Nobody said you have to. What we say is that's a good time to get them in because you got half of them done before the beginning of the day. But like Kathy, she's very successfully lost the weight, certainly done the 10,000 steps for, well into 2 years now. So she just found a way. The reason she did it is because Kathy made a decision. She made a decision that she would not be pre-diabetic. She made a decision that no matter what her family health history is, it doesn't have to be her health history. It's just like we always say, there's their economy and then there's your economy. Well, it's the same thing with your health. It's their perception, their culture, their decision, their health statistics and track record, and then there's yours. And you have a choice. And that's what I love about the HealthPointe program. And the fact that it's just not hard. It's the way we should be doing it all the time anyway. And once we learn it and realize, well, fruits and vegetables and meat and proteins and healthy fats and snacking, well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not weird. That's the way we're supposed to be living. And just shopping the peripheral of your store. HealthPointe's never been a weird program. And that's why it's so easy to follow once you get the right decision, the right mindset. And when you learn it with the help of your coach, then it starts to become a habit forming, like it was with Kathy and so many others. And then you start to live it. And the more you live it, the more it becomes a part of you and you love it. You really, really fall in love with it because you see the results. You see people saying, wow, you look really great. I'm sure Kathy's gotten that about 1 times. You look really, really great. Well, thanks. I'm a wellness coach. And that's why it's so hard on lifestyle coach rather than diet. You won't hear diet. Diet is an eating program. Diet is not a deprivation program. It's never been. We put the deprivation on it by following all these screwy plans out there in the marketplace. It's an eating program. A diet is a habitual, healthy eating program. It's what your diet consists of. And so we just choose to make ours a healthy diet. And then, of course, as you do that and you love it and you live it and you exude it, people are going to ask you about it. And that's when you can really help other people. And that's the beauty of this because boy, oh boy, do we need it out there in the marketplace. And
yeah, Kathy's prediabetes and diabetes is 1/3 of the American population right now.
That's right, Eric. And I'll tell you, every time I walk out into the marketplace, into public, it reminds me one more time of the responsibility I have. Number one, to set the example for myself, my loved ones, and the people that are around me, and then reach out to others that want to have help, want to change their lifestyle. And that's the ones that we all want to work with. But they really need it. I tell you, it's not getting any better out there, it's getting worse. So that's my take. I'm going to stick with it.
Well, that is really, really awesome. And a testament to what you're saying there, Carol, is some of you might be familiar with Dr. Robert Lustig. He's one of the leading endocrinologists in the United States. And he changed his career. He's now, kind of more working on a policy level. He's retired out of the UC system out in California, but he basically, the short story of the arc of his career is he started seeing more and more children that were coming in with what basically was, well, it was fatty liver disease. Okay. so it looked like they were alcoholics because the body processes sugar very much like the liver does, very much like it does alcohol. Obviously, these children were not alcoholics, but they were very obese. And so, long story short, and for those of you that aren't familiar with Dr. Robert Lustig, you can look him up. He's got a wonderful book, kind of technical book, but it's called Metabolica, all about the metabolism. And but the point being, to your point, Carol, is that it used to be called adult onset diabetes. It's no longer called really adult onset because it's no longer just adults. There's kids and people of all ages that are really struggling with diabetes. But that is,
Eric, there was a statistic I might have mentioned last week, or maybe I read it, but that now young children at 3 years old are being diagnosed as diabetic.
Hello.
And people as young as 32 are now experiencing dementia and Alzheimer's. That is lifestyle related. And if you don't think it is, just do some reading because it is.
Yeah, for sure. And on that dementia part, Erica, who is on the call here, and Erica, I don't know if you want to speak to this, but Erica and I know each other through being mutual graduates of the Amen Clinic Brain Health Program, and it's often called type 3 diabetes. That is, the diseases of the brain, Alzheimer's and dementia, because of its relationship to blood sugar and diabetes. So, Erica,
hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning, Erica.
Thanks for letting me join you guys. This is an awesome group. I was just sitting on my patio having a cup of coffee because just yesterday the bottom of my foot started hurting, and I work in sports medicine. I'm a fitness and wellness coordinator, and so I've dealt a lot with people who have had plantar fasciitis, and it feels like it could be the onset of that. So I was just sitting and having a cup of coffee, but watching all you guys walk motivated me, and I'm pacing very slowly in my driveway in my slippers. Well, my driveway is also in my backyard, so I'm fenced in. But anyways, it's so nice to meet you guys. This is such a great group. And the whole relation to lifestyle and brain health is mind-blowing. I was almost in tears going through that program, Eric. So anyways, they say you can see in the brain changes like 20 to 30 years, as far as the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia before signs or symptoms actually show up. So, this program, I'm so excited to join you guys and learn more about it. I'm looking to learn to be a coach here in the future. I'm on, I started on Monday. So this is day 6 for me. And it's great. I'm loving it. I feel great. I've already lost 4 pounds. Not that I have a ton to lose. I'm looking more about the 10 to 15 pound range. Mine is more, I'm trying to get my body fat down. So anyways, it's great. I'm excited, and thanks for letting me join you guys.
Welcome.
Thanks. Erica, it's so good to see you, and we're so glad that you're part of our program. We know you're going to bring some valuable insight into it, and Eric speaks very highly of you. And of course, Eric, he's unbelievable. So
amazing, amazing.
Yes, amazing.
I've been in this field for like 12, 13 years now, and I never heard the term metabolic flexibility as far as like using either carbs for fuel or fat for fuel. I know your body can use both, I've done the metabolic cart and stuff, but as far as that term, and then, you know, kind of the keto flu with having a headache because your body's learning to transition to use, you know, the fat for fuel. I mean, just amazing. I've learned so much from you, Eric, in the last, you know, week or two. Even with references for books and stuff, I just feel like a sponge. So it's great. I love this group.
I think we might have lost Eric, but you know, he might be in a dead space. I think he's on the beach. But Erica, I think you can help so many people just with this increased knowledge and then your background, and then the simplicity of the program.
Access to the camera.
Are you there, Eric?
That's a problem.
Sorry, guys. I am here, but I'll work through them. I'll be right with you.
Because
Oh, he missed our my big shout out to him.
He's got it on recording.
Oh, good. He'll have to watch it later.
But you know, the more we can reach out to folks that understand the situation, they either are in the situation where they want to lose weight. I was kind of like you, Erica, when I started the program. I started National Health a lot of years ago, so I didn't have a huge amount to lose. I think it was about 15 pounds, and which through HealthPointe lost fairly readily. But there's many, many people out there that have to lose a lot more, and some that just want to lose 10, 15. And they make excellent coaches because they've walked through the program, they get the feeling, they know how to shop. And then they can tell their folks, if you don't walk the walk, it's pretty hard to explain it to other people. So I think what you're doing by going through the program, even though you are very physically fit, just going through that will be a really, really important. It's kind of like we always say with the driver, you know, if you're in the passenger seat and you're trying to somebody's trying to tell you how to drive versus getting behind the wheel and actually driving. And when you're actually driving, then you really learn the program. You internalize it.
It's been great. You know, I was telling even just a few clients of mine, I'm like, you know, all this time I've been in the field, I've tracked my water, I've tracked my steps, I've tracked my protein, I've tracked my fiber, I've tracked my calories, my sleep, my macronutrients. I have never tracked carbs. And I was surprised at, even though I eat healthy, I shop the perimeter, I'll eat, you know, oatmeal and fruit, but you know, I do have some rice or sweet potatoes and you know, gluten-free bread and stuff. I was surprised at how many carbs I was getting in. So this was just amazing, eye-opening experience for me to really track the sugars, and how much better I feel just by, you know, decreasing them. It's really eye-opening.
Eric, are you back?
I'm back. Oh, yep, not me. Yeah, I did see Eric pop in for a second. I don't know if he's back
Based
yet.
on what you ladies were just talking about, kind of a summary statement, I was explaining the HealthPointe system to a young lady this week, and what I shared with her was that you need to learn the program, you need to do the program, and then we can talk about teaching the program. And so kind of have to go through those processes whenever we're learning something new.
Yeah, well said.
So, and for the people that are young, also to impress upon them, the decisions that they make are going to be an investment in their health future. And I think back to, you know, financial advisors always tell you to invest, save, invest, let it multiply for your security future. But how many of us
in 2 minutes we
with
can
our
walk
health
back?
and
It's
our
already
habits,
8:40.
our healthy lifestyle habits? Probably very few, unless they're not, you know, involved with a HealthPointe. So I think earlier in the game, that a person can develop those habits they're going to start seeing when they go to the doctor, they're not going to start seeing high blood pressure, high cholesterol, prediabetes, diabetic. They're not going to be seeing those things because they've already cut it at the pass by healthy lifestyle habits that literally prevent those types of things. You know, I know there's always extenuating circumstances, but I'm speaking in general. And I can tell you from my husband and I, and you know, we're very up in years with that pressure. I don't care about an age. I care about numbers on my blood chart. And we both had our physicals, and both doctors, different doctors, both said.
Yes, I do try to get around. You too, though, Ed.
Yeah. So anyway, it's the payoff later. So you're investing now for a payoff later.
Hey guys.
Hi,
You back,
everyone.
Eric?
So thankfully, benefits of walking with your spouse is
Are you there, Eric?
Can everybody hear me?
You have to unmute.
Apparently not. Can everybody hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you, Eric. Yes.
Yes, now we
Oh,
can.
oh, okay. Got. Okay. Sorry.
Now we can't. You're really far away again.
Okay, well, you guys just take over. I'll be back.
No, you're fine. Just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I was just commenting humorously that's one of the benefits of doing a walk with your spouse. That you got a backup phone. So back on here. So let's just, I guess, continue around the horn. I'm not sure who's spoken and who hasn't, but whoever's up next, David, Larry, Hank, whoever, go ahead and jump on in.
Hank, are you there?
Hi.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Oh, Hank. Go
Hi.
ahead, Hank.
I'm here, just listening to all, and hey, really proud of all of you guys. What you're doing, it's awesome. I want to blow Carol's horn a little bit, okay? Because like she said, she just had her physical, and most of you know she's up there in the years too, in low 80s, but very good. But guess what the doctor said to her? I'm gonna hang a picture in my waiting room. You are my poster child. The doctor said that. And he said, I can't believe your numbers. Everything's right on. And I can't believe your age.
Wow.
Once I hang a picture of her in the waiting room to inspire the rest of her patients, I guess. Wake
I
up.
told him I don't come
Beautiful
cheap.
morning.
I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
I told him I don't come cheap.
For sure. Obviously, with that picture, your phone number under it, so people can look just
There
like
you
you.
I love it. And so, yeah, we are very excited. Both Carol and I, all you know, we've been on the Nutrilite supplements for many, many years. In fact, over 50 years now. And I've told my story in the past, about the situation, the physical problems I had when I worked as an engineer at Ford. And the doctor wanted me to start me on all these medications in my 40s. And I just could not buy into that. And people just take responsibility of their own health and start to use your brain a little bit. The answers are out there. Start doing the right things. And it pays off. It's called discipline, okay? We are very disciplined going to work every day because we have no choice, but we don't get disciplined about our health and our future a lot of times. And that's sad because that's one of the most important things you have. I don't care what age you are, if you're not healthy, it's not worth it. And I don't care how much money you have, it's not worth it because your health is the most important to have. So just wanted to share that thought with you. And we are so glad to share this with so many people, especially about Nutrilite and all the work they do to make sure they give us the best supplements in the world. And they are. There's nothing else out there like it in the marketplace. And they work if you follow them. and a regular basis, and also do what you guys are doing out there walking and everything else, and just doing all the right things. You live well to your hundreds, because I believe we are designed to live to be 120. We take good care of ourselves and our good immune system that God gave us. So anyway, I'm gonna check out on that, but I hope that this was helpful, and good to see all you guys out there doing the right thing. So proud of all of you. Have a great day, guys. Love you all.
Thanks so much, Hank. Appreciate that. And just a quick shout out on those numbers. I know earlier in the year when Carol, you and I were talking, you were sharing some numbers, and guys, one of the key numbers on blood work is your triglyceride number. And we were doing a little bit of, Carol was discussing some things, and up to that point, I thought Emily and I had incredible numbers, because again, we did HealthPointe back in 2017, really good on our omegas, really good on the HealthPointe program. And then Carol shared what her numbers were, and I literally had to do a couple of recalculations on the calculator because I didn't believe it. Her numbers were way better than Emily and I. And I was like, whoa. So it was really, really great. So you guys are a testament to that. We have, I think, Kanika, again, I'm on a different phone now. But Kanika, if you're on the line and care to unmute and just say hello, I wanted to give good morning, Kanika.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys? Hi, everyone.
Great.
I've been listening to
Good morning.
you guys for so long and so inspirational. So amazing group.
And Kanika, I wanted you to particularly to introduce you to Erica, because Erica has some friends that are vegetarian and of Indian ethnicity, and so I know you guys might be able to share some recipes.
Sure.
Yes, I would love to gather whatever knowledge you have. I have two vegetarian friends. One is from India, and she was looking to lose some weight and body fat, but there's so many carbohydrates in her diet. And I just started HealthPointe. I'm 6 days in, and I know there are so many, especially the protein days. I was, just kind of dumbfounded to even think how I would be able to bring her onto the program if she was interested in it. So I would love to gather any knowledge you have.
Yeah, sure. Like being vegetarian and vegan, it has been challenging, and Indian diet is amazing. Like it's so versatile. If you are open up to accept, so there are like thousands of recipes. So it's not, if you get into it, it's not the big deal. It's the acceptance of the person not to have carbs. Like I did find relatable, like if non-vegetarian will eat meat, right? Any kind of meat, chicken, that's easy for a person to go through keto, but that person is also cutting on grains, right? So if the vegetarian person is on diet, they has to also cut down any type of grains, so to come down to very low carbs. So I will highly suggest paneer. Paneer comes in a very low carb, but it's high fat, so it gives a lot of satiety.
Okay.
The first 3 days, so you have numbers of amazing recipes to have. I think you will also fall in love if you start making paneer. So,
yes.
So you can do that. And I tried almond flour dosa instead of a bread. So that came out amazingly delicious. So if you want to, somebody stubborn that I need something which looks like a bread or something like dosa or chapati. So you can recommend that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for those tips. That's great.
Yeah. So you can ask me. I'm open to share whatever knowledge I have. So anytime, any question you have.
Thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations for your journey. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I'm learning so much. I always love to be learning and gathering new knowledge. And this is such a wonderful program because I'm very much on balance and not, you know, overdoing exercise or, you know, really restricting too much. And this is just like they, you know, like it's advertised. It's a health program with a side benefit of weight loss. And I'm loving it. I heard you just started too. So congrats to you.
Thank you. I'm going to start on June 26th. So I'm getting my head around and getting this week suddenly gets so occupied. It's my daughter's birthday and somebody's coming to her home and we are going out. It's just like crazy. Like, I don't know how I'm going to go through this week. So I said 26th June is, I'm going to start so that I can get the groceries.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm just totally prepared.
Awesome. Yeah. That's exciting. This is like you know, the last hurrah to, like Eric told me, eat the last little bit of ice cream in your fridge. And it was so ironic because and then he sent me the message to do it.
Oh, yeah. I was actually, Eric, trying to find a very strong reason why I joined HealthPointe. So I found out various whys, and I actually find out my top why is that I need somebody to push me, pinch me, you have to do it. So I think Eric is the best guy for that. Because with the kids, I just cannot focus on myself too much. So I think I will be having Eric, which is like, you have to do this. You have to do this. So
yep. Even for me, I'm a coach for others. But even for me, it's nice to have that person that I'm accountable for. I'm like, well, Eric's gonna know my weight. He's gonna know if I, you know, snuck some carbs in, it's gonna show. So I gotta be on top of it. It's just so good. So thank you, Eric.
Yeah, it's fun discussing, sharing recipes and talking about food and diet, and you know, it gets so much.
Yeah, I'll definitely be pulling on your knowledge in the future too.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you're putting a menu together, that's, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you're putting a menu together that's going to work for you, work closely with your coach. There's some things that you can add in that will increase the fruits and veggies without adding super large amounts of carbs. We have some things called superfood that you can add in. We have organic protein powders. If you're going to be doing a shake, that are plant-based, but not adding a lot of carbs. So there's alternative choices that you can weave in gradually into your program that will help. And then also, and I'm sure Eric's already talked to you about this, is the glycemic load. You know, work with that because there's good, better, and best in choices, especially as you get into the meal plans. And Eric will work with you on that too. So it's pretty flexible, actually. You're going to get very creative and still stay within the confines of the program.
Yeah, guys, so yes, and I'm sure you can hear me here, but I'm really excited, Kanika and Erica and also Emily, who I'm walking with right now, to be able to get some you know, there's a menu list for the different ethnicities. You know, I'm really excited about that because I mean, this program is for everybody, but it's just a matter of looking at the macros, looking at the carb load, looking at the proteins, and then finding delicious choices in the Indian cuisine, the Vietnamese cuisine. We just started a young man. He's not on right now. He's out in a different time zone, but is doing terrific. He's down, gosh, I think 6-7 pounds in his first week, and but you know, he's the Vietnamese cuisine, and so he, along with the family, is taking a look at the choices and put together a plan. And I'm just super excited about getting kind of lists of choices for the different wonderful ethnicities that we are surrounded by. So super excited, Erica, for you to connect with Hanukkah and vice versa. Hey, continuing around the horn is Larry on here. I believe Larry, again, I'm working on a different phone. If you're on Larry or Regina, whoever is behind the name on the Zoom, there we are. Hey, Larry, good morning.
Morning, Eric. How are you doing? You've been in and out of this conversation, huh?
Yes, for sure.
Talking about mindset. Let's think about that's so important. And this, meet as a community here, this helps me. It's like we talked about Carol being an example, and all of you are great examples. My coach, David, who is helping me. So all of us are examples. But one of the things that I wanted to say is sometimes we are our most critical person, our best critic. And so we have to be careful about, being so critical of ourselves. A lot of times we're critical of ourselves. And sometimes when we look at ourselves like that in the wrong eyes, we don't know how we look to other people. And so as I look at everybody that's here, and we are examples to other people, just like our coaches are examples to us. I was at the pool swimming, and I ran into a lady that was there, and I was thinking, oh, okay, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Unlike Kathy, I'm not 100% 365 days a year HealthPointe, but 99.9, I'm usually there. But anyway, to make a long story short, the lady said, hey, you're Mr. Consistency. Now here I was thinking that, some days I don't make it, but the majority of the days I do make it. And I was being critical of myself because I wasn't 100%. And here was a lady that was saying, well, you're Mr. Consistency. She felt like I was Mr. Consistency. So we have to be careful what we think of ourselves. Real quickly, I was reading one of our books, Finish or Atomic Habits. And one of the things it says is that sometimes when we move from 0 to 40% closer to our goal, of ourselves. Yeah, we are critical of ourselves. We have to go 60% more. And we never look back at that. We come all the way from 0 to 40. And so we need to give ourselves credit for that and encourage ourselves to keep on going on. Because as they said, as you get closer to your goal, then it's a little easier because you're motivated, because you know that you're going to get there. So anyway, hey, one last thing, water. I've included making sure that I track my water. It's very important. Okay, thanks, Eric. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Larry. And I am back on some connectivity, fingers crossed, at least for now. And actually, Emily's has wanted to comment here. Again, thank you to Emily for having another phone to be able to at least listen in as my phone kind of cut out here. So let me mute, and Emily, it's all yours.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Emily.
As usual, good morning. As usual, I really enjoy hearing all of you sharing. Very inspirational for me. I have only a few things I want to share. Eric and I have been on the journey since 2017, and I learned a couple of things. First of all, habit. Now, there's so much psychology into this program than anything else. So building the habit is the number one thing for me. Like anything else, there's a way up and down, but we know how to get back on track. Keep trying. So that's the key habit. I just finished a book called Never Finish, and I feel like HealthPointe is a journey is never finished. We can just keep going. There's no end to it, and the reward is so amazing. I feel stronger and better than I was in my 20s, really.
Yeah.
Yep. Waking up, I feel so sharp. I no longer have the brain fog or fatigue. So that's a huge benefit. But like anything else, it doesn't come easy, at least for me. But keep on it, keep trying to build a habit. So that's all I'd like to share.
Wow. How's that?
Thanks.
That's
That
awesome.
pretty much
Perfect wrap up.
encapsulated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Larry. That was the exact message I needed to hear today, because yesterday I did have some rice at lunch with my protein and veggie, and then I realized I counted my carbs at the end. I'm like, oh no, that's too many. And so just getting on the not even any rice at lunch and just the protein, veggie, fruit, and lettuce. And so anyways, thank you for that, Larry. You made me feel better.
That's right. One of the things they talk about is trying to be perfect. None of us are perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doing what you're doing. Good role model to somebody. You're a good role model to us, and you just came on. Thank you so very much. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
I think what Emily shared with the book Never Finish is a perfect point too, Emily, because we really never do finish in life. Hopefully we don't finish in life. And we never finish on the HealthPointe program or learning better ways for health, because first of all, we're learning new things along the way too. And the same core basic values and things we've always learned about food and exercise and what have you always remain the same core, but there will be new things and new tweaks and things that we can do along the way. And so we never finish. And then when we fall, we pick ourselves back up and we continue on. I mean, if we had rice on a salad one day, the world doesn't come to an end. You just don't do rice the next time. Or, maybe you can even look at with Eric, maybe a little bit of quinoa or something, an alternative. Still having a little crunchy in there. There's things you can do. That's the beauty of the coach and being accountable to your coach, because they will have answers. And I turn you over to Eric.
If I can jump in, can I jump in really quick? I just want to say something.
Yeah, sure.
To what Larry was saying.
Also, before you do, now that I'm back online, Billy, I see you're online, and if you're available after Kathy, we'd love to hear from you from Texas. So, but go ahead, Kathy.
Okay, so when Larry was talking about, not being perfect and thinking that, he was falling back, it reminds me of an audio. One of my absolute favorites is "Be Focused and Courageous" by Wade Simmons. I just listened to it yesterday morning, so that's why it's fresh again. But he said he likes to think of himself as a ratchet. You may fall back a couple little steps, but then you ratchet back forward the next time. And you're not going to go all the way back to the very beginning, but with a ratchet, you're just going to kind of just keep kind of ratcheting forward. So with what he just said, I thought about that and I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to share that. So just something like a mental picture, because sometimes mental pictures help. So that's it.
They sure do. They sure do. No, I love that. I love that ratchet metaphor for sure. Billy, are you there? If so, if you want to unmute and or camera on, or Marilyn, or whoever is behind the Zoom title, if you're there, go ahead.
The baby calf, whoever.
Yeah, the baby calf. How's the baby calf doing? So not sure if you're trying to unmute, but all right, well, maybe there he is. Go ahead, Billy.
Okay.
At least I hear you.
Well,
yeah, we can hear you.
I don't have that much to say. I enjoying everybody. And Merlin always tell me that I'm doing Billy print, but it's working right now. And I get my 15,000, on the average, I get about 15,000 steps in every day. And also, on sometime if it raining, if I can't do anything, I may be inside. I may not be able to get by 8 to 10,000 steps, but on average, I get 15,000 steps, and I may get up to about 19,000 steps. So it's great, and it's working for me. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, I'd say that's pretty awesome, Billy. Chasing those caps around to get in 15,000 good morning is pretty awesome. So, well, guys, we've hit on so many things here, so much great stuff on mindset, so much just great things on a variety of topics. And thank you guys for being patient with me. You never know what technology will curveballs will be thrown your way. So
we're always appreciative of you. Always.
Yes, Eric.
Thank you.
Time, Eric.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, Eric.
Well, hey, this is it's all a community here. It's such a great start to the Saturday. Thanks everyone for jumping on here, and we'll call this one a wrap for today. Everybody have a great day. Emily and I are going to be coming around the horn here and stopping in on the Montague Whitehall Farmers Market and see what they have in season. So
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes.
Father's Day.
Yes, that's right. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a great time. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Nice meeting everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great meeting you too.